Hello everyone, your good friend Mr.RedEye 75 here. I am back from the demo experience in Akihabara Camera at the Yodobashi Camera multimedia store. Unfortunately, I was not able to play the demo myself. I got there at 8 o'clock, tickets ran out at 7, so shame on me for deciding to take a shower and eating breakfast first. That is a mistake I'll make sure not to make again. Instead of any footage of my own, we're going to be rewatching the gameplay footage for Fires of Rubicon that they first released way back when. Why? Because this is the same mission that was shown in the demo. While I didn't play the demo myself, that's alright. I feel like if you had any gameplay questions, you'd be able to gain any information you wanted from watching the Vaddy or Fighting Cowboy videos or any of the other YouTube content creators. Instead, I can share you some of the new information that we saw from the demo. For example, at the very beginning of the whole demonstration, they began with the mission briefing, which they only played once at the beginning. So if you weren't there to start with, you probably missed out. But for this mission, Walter is sending you to either capture or be at the landing zone for an intercontinental cargo launcher, a massive cannon with the sole purpose of firing cargo from one location to another at super hypersonic speeds. I suppose this is safer than using a transport carrier, as we have seen from playing so many Armored Core games in the past. Why use a plane when a giant shell will work instead? This is kind of interesting because we do get to see map footage of what the surface of Rubicon looks like. The content that we either began on or from where the cannon is shooting from itself looks like a massive crater, which might have something to do with the massive coral superflare that happened way back when, that ignited the star system. On the map, you can see that it looks like a massive crater, like as if a moon or a satellite had dropped and completely wiped out an entire island or landmass. The demo comes with 3 pre-built ACs. There is a biped unit that looks an awfully lot like a 3rd gen AC. It kind of looks like an Evangel cosplay, or it looks reminiscent of the ACs on the front of the cover for Armored Core Nexus. It uses the Gaia looking frame. It comes equipped with your standard array of weaponry. It has a rifle or a linear rifle in the right hand. It has a beam sword or a beam dagger in the left hand. It has a shield on the left shoulder, and it has missile launchers on the right shoulder. After that, there is a reverse joint AC, which seemed to be a fan favorite. I believe it had the chargeable pulse pistol in the right hand. In the left hand, I wasn't entirely sure, because on the left shoulder was a massive fucking grenade cannon that dealt absolutely amazing damage, and when you fired it, it created massive explosions. It was the fan favorite weapon. On the right shoulder were the pulse or plasma missiles. The third AC that was available for the demo was a quadruped AC. It came equipped on the left hand, another grenade launcher, much like the ones seen in 3rd gen. I don't remember if they were in 4th and 5th gen, but it had the hand-mounted grenade launcher. It also came equipped with, well, to be fair, I wasn't really paying attention because, my word, the grenade launchers are absolutely amazing in this game. But it did have rockets on the back, so there is that. Each of them had their own unique play style that was fun to watch. I really enjoyed watching the reverse joint AC, and as I will explain later, the quadruped AC completely and utterly hard counters the boss of this mission. So if you're ever worried about facing the Smart Cleaner, or if you're having trouble with the Smart Cleaner, just switch to Quad Legs. Quad Legs beat the Smart Cleaner free. So enough of the introductory spectacle, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the gameplay footage. So in the trailer, they start you off up here, up above a bridge, but the demo actually begins all the way down there. So you can see there's a walkway underneath us that leads to a gate. That is where the beginning of the demo starts. So this kind of confirms retroactively that there are multiple ways to complete each mission. Because this mission, you start up here and he just flies all the way forward and skips a large section of the introduction to this stage, which is kind of sneaky because down there waiting for you at the gate was a fan favorite AC fight against an AC named Stomper, piloted by, I believe his name was Ruby or Ruddy. And he pilots an AC that uses a chainsaw in the left hand and some sort of small multi-shot pistol or a shotgun in the left hand. No, wait, I have that mixed up. Sorry, it was the chainsaw in the left hand, shotgun in the right hand. Now, do you remember this sticker set? Yes, you remember how everybody theorized that this foot belongs to the AC Tenderfoot? No, actually, this emblem belongs to Stomper. When you fight him in the demo, you can see this emblem. It is up above his name, much like the other AC we saw in the new gameplay footage. But the chainsaw, my word, the chainsaw is an absolute combo machine. What the chainsaw does is you run up and you stab into a person, much like pile bunkers, but the blades start to spin and they do repeated damage and it has high stun. It has so much stun that after getting stabbed by the chainsaw, Stomper had enough time to aim his shotgun and blast you in the face. If Stomper did not decide to follow up with the shotgun, the chainsaw itself also has a follow-up slash. From the looks of it, he did not have any weapons on his back. To be honest, I'm not sure if he's an AC or just a very customized MT, but he was a fun introductory mini boss fight, so I recommend that you do not skip and fly up here like they do in this gameplay trailer. I recommend that you actually go and fight Stomper. He's really funny and he's really cool to fight, and the chainsaw and shotgun combo are absolutely stellar. Everybody who came to the experience seemed like they were enjoying themselves. There were a lot of people that were just crowding the entranceway to the store before it opened up, and they were also crowding around the 6th floor entrance that led to the gameplay experience. They actually had to begin moving people inside the store early before it opened at 9:30 because just so many people were blocking the way that leads to the subway. Inside, they had multiple televisions, both inside and outside the game store area, where people could watch. People were actually sitting around like kindergarten students at story time. They all seemed to be really engaged with the gameplay they were watching. Anytime somebody used the fuck huge grenade cannons on the reverse joint AC, or whenever a mini boss or a boss was defeated, everybody was sure to clap. Everybody was going, ooh, ah! Everybody was giving the omedetos, congratulations. It was a really great experience. So although I didn't get to play the demo, I really enjoyed being able to go there and have the experience that I did. Since we're kind of flying over here, this reminds me that right here at this spot, a player accidentally fell off the ledge and he fell into the bottomless pit. So what happens if you fall into a bottomless pit or if you leave mission parameters? Well, you get a funny little message that says autopilot is engaged. It fades to black. You are teleported back onto the last surface that you're standing on, and then it fades back into the game. So there's no auto game over for going out of bounds or leaving mission parameters. I guess Walter has a failsafe in place in case you try to one-ray during a mission. So you will actually be forced to go back into mission parameters. So do not worry, you will not have to restart the mission. Another fun, interesting fact, when you engage with a mini boss or an AC, the mission parameter shrinks down and you cannot leave that area. If you try to run away from the enemy AC or the mini boss, a red barrier appears and your AC cannot pass it. So if you are going to face an AC, make sure you come prepared because there is no room for retreat. Here at this bit, you can actually just completely bypass this droid bot. Speaking of these droid bots are kind of funny. There is a portion in the demo where a player was trying to open up a security level 3 gate, which takes a long time to hack. And as he was hacking the gate, one of these little droid bastards actually falls down behind him. And if you're not paying attention to your UI, if you're not paying attention to the reticle telling you that an enemy is behind you, the droid begins shooting you in the back, having his way with you completely. So there are some fun little FromSoft tricks there. There's another interesting part where a player is walking and they use their scan, and they could see hanging underneath on the floor, underneath them were several spider MTs. So if you did not use the scanner and you tried moving into the level below you, the spider MTs would then try to ambush you and take you out in a pincer. So any pilots who are aware will be able to scan the area, see that there are enemies waiting for them, and will be able to act accordingly. So Armored Core 6 has more of the FromSoft goodness that they've learned in the making of the several Dark Souls games. So expect there to be lots of nasty tricks, lots of nasty ploys to fuck you over in this game. So as I explained before, this droid is actually completely optional. You can fly right over his head and continue on with the mission. Something neat that we learned in this area, there are actually hazardous environmental elements. So if he turns the right way, there you go. You see the massive smelter that is just pouring lava and molten steel? Yeah, if you try to fly through that, or if you push an MT into it, it will deal damage. So there are actually hazardous environmental elements that you should be aware of when piloting your AC. There's actually kind of a secret area back there. I'm not sure if the player found anything, but when he got stuck in there, it seemed like he was lost for quite a while until he was able to make his way back out. So this level actually does have lots of nooks and crannies that you can explore. There are definitely lots of different pockets where you can either get turned around, run into dead ends, or maybe there's even secret parts in there that the players just did not find. But this level is actually a lot larger than this trailer gives it credit for. There's a lot of room here for exploration in this level. As I described at the beginning of the video, you can completely bypass an AC battle just by flying to the top and flying over the gate instead of going through it. So there are actually multiple ways for you to progress through each mission. Oh, since we're in the garage here, something funny to note. When you activate one of these little garages, the garage comes to you. Yeah, there's this thing that looks like a giant Samsung refrigerator with boosters. It flies up, it opens, and you can restock your ammunition, or you can use the garage to change your AC. Something fun about this area, since I mentioned the stage hazards. When you first approach this area, there are actually a lot more MTs surrounding this big guy. And you can see that there's kind of this shrapnel or some sort of destroyed machinery scattered about at the arena. That's because these used to be massive energy or gas containers that were hung above the MTs. And when you engage the MTs, either through the player or maybe by an enemy ambush, the gas tanks will actually fall from the ceiling, cause massive damage, destroy all the other MTs, and you are left in this arena by yourself with this mini-boss. So again, please be aware of your surroundings. There are lots of traps and environmental hazards in Armored Core 6. My general impression of the difficulty is that it's not too terribly difficult of a game. I mean, even a lot of the players that clearly didn't have any Armored Core experience before, they seem to have a fun time with it. They frequently had to use their AP refills, but overall, the game did not give the impression that it was extremely difficult. It seemed like it was more of a fair and fun challenge. Until we get to this part. The Smart Cleaner. The Smart Cleaner is an absolute noob killer. If you don't know what you're doing, the Smart Cleaner will absolutely destroy you. The Steam Cleaner is just always, constantly, slowly moving towards you. And so the first reaction, or the first instinct that many players had is, well, they saw this shot from this trailer, and they thought, oh, I'll do the same thing. I'll just boost on up and shoot directly down into the vent. Well, they spend all their time up here, they use up all of their booster juice, and when they're forced to land, the smart cleaner is able to just casually turn around, clap their cheeks, and does enough damage to bring you from full to 0 in one hit, or damn near as much. So if you find yourself fighting the smart cleaner, do not make this mistake. Please manage your meter. Make sure you have enough meter to immediately jump into the air again if you decide to land in front of the smart cleaner. The smart cleaner actually has 2 joints that you can hard lock onto. Here you can see you can hard lock onto the vent in the back. So if you want to go after this weak spot, that's one course of action you can take. But here you see you can also hard lock onto the main body in front. And the main body in front does actually have a secondary weak point. So maybe we can see it right there. You can see he has a little vent mouth in the front that opens up. At first, a lot of people were running in here. They were all getting absolutely obliterated by the smart cleaner. And then the players that were watching and caught on, they learned, well, the smart cleaner is so slow, you can just stay as far away from it as possible and just shoot your rifle directly into its mouth. And that was the way that the biped and the reverse joint could get all their damage in on the smart cleaner. The outer shell of the smart cleaner is nigh impervious to ballistic weapons. So if you're using, for example, a regular rifle or machine gun, you'll actually see that all of the bullets will ricochet directly off of the smart cleaner. Right here, the smart cleaner absolutely ended that person. So if you find yourself having as much difficulty with the smart cleaner as this player was, there is actually a solution. Here, if this was a quad AC instead of reverse joint, congratulations, you just beat the smart cleaner. It is that easy. Using the quad's hover, the smart cleaner literally cannot hit you. The only possible way for the smart cleaner to hit you is when he erupts molten magma balls from the vent. And then he can't even really aim them. It's kind of a random spread, so you might be able to just avoid them by chance. Quad leg ACs are able to just hover indefinitely above the smart cleaner and rain down death directly into the top vent. I saw a player able to completely wipe out the smart cleaner without getting hit once, because he just flew up as high as he could, activated hover mode, and then emptied all of the missiles and grenade bullets down directly into the vent. So quad legs OP confirmed. They absolutely hard counter the smart cleaner. Now keep in mind, sometimes you will need to reactivate the hover and that will consume energy. For the love of God, do not land anywhere near the smart cleaner. Make sure you create lots of distance between yourself and the smart cleaner for you to land. Because if you land anywhere near the smart cleaner while your energy is recharging as fast as it is, the smart cleaner will be faster. He will turn around and he will clap your cheeks violently and you will die immediately. I have seen it happen many times, even when other players were using the quad legs. So if you use the quad leg cheese to beat the smart cleaner, please exercise caution. There is no special bonus for beating the smart cleaner. The demo just restarted back to the garage screen. But other than that, it was a nice, short, sweet demo. It took about 10 to 15 minutes. There were some players who were not able to make it to the end before their time was up. But those who made it to the smart cleaner, they were given an extra chance or two to beat it. When you lose, it is a mission failed. There is no story continuity. It's not like your brain gets uploaded to another AC. It says mission failed and it asks if you want to restart the entire mission or restart from the checkpoint. Overall, I'd say the demo gave a good glimpse at what it's like to play Armored Core 6. The level that they chose was very large, so lots of rooms for exploration, plenty of nooks and crannies to look for hidden parts, lots of places for enemy MTs to hide. You got to fight a somewhat easy AC battle against an opponent that only had 2 weapons. You got to fight against a semi-difficult MT mini-boss, and then you got to fight against a noob filter end stage boss with the smart cleaner. I didn't get the impression that it was extraordinarily difficult, or even especially difficult. It seemed like it was just the right level. I'm sure if I played it, I probably would have been able to beat it without having to restart the game. They gave away some cool posters and other swag to those who had a chance to play the game. But who knows? They have another demo experience in my area in 2 weeks. I might try to go and see if I can't get a ticket the day before instead of the day of. If you're in Japan and you have the opportunity, I really recommend that you go and see it. Just to see how many people show up. The people there had really good energy. The workers tried their best to stop people from taking pictures or videos. I'm not sure how successful they were. Well, if you made it to the end of the video, this is where I get to shill my shit. So please subscribe. Or, even better, please go and check out my Twitch channel at Mr.RedEye75. I'm at 33 followers. If we get to 50, I'll become affiliate, and we will do a melee-only run of the Armored Core 6 Arena. So if that sounds interesting to you, please come on by, say hello, and follow. And if you have any questions, you can ask them there, and I'll try my best to answer. Until then, thank you, Ravens. See you, and goodbye.